From the studios of KSBI Television in Oklahoma City, this is Oklahoma's High School Academic Challenge Bowl. Teams from your favorite Oklahoma schools compete for school pride and thousands of dollars in prize money, made possible by the Chickasaw Nation. This is the Telly Award-winning Mind Games, the high school edition, with your host, Ed Murray.
And welcome to this week's high school edition of Mind Games, our second Final Four match. Tonight, we have another battle of the brains for cash prizes courtesy of the Chickasaw Nation and Ward Petroleum. Tonight's winner advances to the championship game where Edmond Santa Fe is waiting. Tonight, in the semifinal, to my right, we have Norman North. Farthest from me is Brevin Denton. He is a sophomore. In the middle is the captain, Caleb Kendrick, a junior. Closest to me is Sloan Stinnett. He is a sophomore. Going against Norman North, we have Edmond Memorial. Farthest from me is Peter Byerly. He is a junior. In the middle is the captain, Rita Rasa. She is a senior. Closest to me is Finn Bender. He is a junior. Good luck to both of our teams. Here are the rules. We have two toss-up rounds with bonus questions. Players earn money for each correct answer, and that amount goes up in each round. If a team interrupts a question and gets it wrong, the other team will get $10. There's also a Ward Petroleum bonus question. It's worth an extra $250. We also have two flash rounds. We begin each match with a flash round. We flipped a coin beforehand to see who would go first. Edmond Memorial, you won that coin flip, so you're going to go first. 30 seconds, 10 questions. Whichever comes first. Rita, I will need you to give me the answers. You ready to go? 30 seconds on the clock. And go. Charles Dickens came to America.
True.
Correct. In basketball, the area by the goal is the perimeter.
False.
Correct. The Panthers mascot is used by both NFL and NHL teams.
False.
Incorrect. Mosses and liverworts are bryophytes.
False.
Incorrect. Loan words are specialized words with classical roots.
False.
Correct. Samoans drive on the same side of the road as the British.
True.
Correct. Heroin use in the U.S. has fallen since 2010.
True.
Incorrect. Pablo Picasso used yes, correct. Finn, way to fire one in there, huh? All right, false statements. Of course, the area around the goal is the paint, not the perimeter in basketball. Foreign words are natural instead of specialized words with classical roots. Heroin use has risen sharply since 2010. So those are our false statements. $50, Edmond Memorial, off to a good start. Here we go, Norman North, you ready to go? Again, Caleb, I'll need you to give me the answers. 30 seconds on the clock, and go. The Idiot Club is the official fan club of Green Day.
True.
Correct. Tennyson created the fictional land of Elysium.
True.
Incorrect. Whip is a baseball stat. Walks and hits per inning pitched.
True.
Correct. Hero died before Leander.
False.
Correct. A person from Liverpool is a Liverpudlian.
True.
That is correct. Firefox is adding ads to its new tab page.
True.
Correct. Sally Ride was the first woman in space.
False.
Correct. Baby Blue is a tent. That is correct. Let me get it in there, especially when I flubbed it up. Tennyson created the fictional land of Elysium. No, that was actually a Greek myth. Leander, Hero killed Leander, or killed herself after he died, so she followed. Sally Ride was the first U.S. woman in space, but Valentina Tereshkova of the Soviet Union was actually number one. So we have $70 for Norman North, $50 for Edmond Memorial. Time for the buzzers. 6 minutes, 12 questions, whichever comes first. Here's your first toss-up question. Science. The punctuated form of this phenomenon, Memorial, Rita.
Equilibrium.
Is a theory of evolution. The chemical form occurs when forward and reverse reactions rates are the same. Yes, equilibrium. This is your bonus in science. The largest of these entities yet discovered is 440 nanometers across. A mosaic one infects tobacco, while those called phages infect bacteria. What are these pathogens that cannot reproduce independently?
Virus.
Viruses, yes, they also affect game show hosts. So, fine arts, toss-up. The Tudor variety is wide and come to a point. Gothic ones are narrow and pointy. What architectural feature? Norman North, Caleb.
Spire.
That is incorrect. I'll finish the question for Memorial. What architectural feature that also comes in parabolic and semicircular forms is topped by a keystone? Memorial, Peter.
Arch.
Arch is the word we needed. Here's your fine arts bonus now. What architectural term related to the French word for turn names the blocks that form the rounded part of an arch, including the topmost keystone?
No answer.
All right, I wish you had because I have to say it now. Vushua, or something like that. Science, toss up. This constellation is depicted as fighting Taurus with his dogs Canis Minor, Norman North, Sloan.
Orion.
And the blue giant Bellatrix and Rigel, supergiant in the constellation Orion. Your science bonus. Stars like Rigel and Sirius live hard and die fast, but not our sun. Because the sun's mass is below the Chandrasekhar limit, the sun will be one of what planet-sized stellar remnants in 20 billion years?
Supernova, or is it like a white dwarf? White dwarf. Yeah, white dwarf. White dwarf.
You talked it through and you got the right answer, white dwarf. Here's a history question. An image is necessary, so both teams take a look at the monitor here in the studio. What city installed many of its communist-era statues in Memento Park after the communist regime fell in 1989? Memorial, Finn.
Berlin.
That is incorrect. I'll finish the question for Norman North. This Eastern European city is the capital of Hungary. Norman North, Caleb.
Budapest.
Budapest is what we needed. Your history bonus, also an image. So take a look at the screen once again. What pair of authors of an important communist text is represented in this Memento Park statue?
Marx and Engels.
Marx and Engels, those are the two. Your current events toss-up now, both teams. The March 4th New York Times corrections column acknowledged a spelling error in a 160-year-old article about what book by Solomon Northup? Not Memorial. It's Peter.
12 Years a Slave.
Not as they printed Northrop. So 12 Years a Slave is the work. Your current events bonus. What Asian country was the origin of flight MH370, which disappeared on its way to Beijing on March 7th, 2014?
Kuala Lumpur.
It's just a country, Malaysia.
Okay, yeah.
Malaysia.
Malaysia is the country we needed. All right, there's our theme music. It's time for the War Petroleum Oklahoma history question. A correct answer worth $10 now. An additional $240 at the end of the game. We always begin with the team to our right. Very important $10 as Norman North has a $10 lead right now. Caleb, again, multiple choice. I'll need you to give me the answer. You can discuss it. Which former Oklahoma governor has written children's books about Theodore Roosevelt and Will Rogers? A, Frank Keating. B, Brad Henry. C, David Boren. A, Frank Keating is the correct response. So $10 now, $240 a bit later. All right, Edmond Memorial, big $10 right now. What town was the home of famous Oklahoman Carl Albert? A, Newcastle. B, Cow Hustle. C, Bug Tussle.
A.
Is actually C, Bug Tussle, which is just north and east of McAllister. There really is a bug tussle. History. Everybody back to the buzzers. What Nantucket-born suffragette whose maiden name was Coffin met Elizabeth Cady Stanton in London and later staged the Seneca Falls Convention? Memorial, Finn.
Susan B. Anthony.
That is incorrect. I will finish the question for Norman North. They later staged the Seneca Falls Convention with her. Lucretia Mott is that Nantucket-born. Literature, toss-up. She wrote about Godfrey St. Peter's former residence in the professor's house and about French missionaries in New Mexico, and death comes for the Norman North. Caleb.
Cather.
Who was this author of One of Ours? Cather is correct. Your literature bonus. What character is the referent for the word my in Cather's title, My Antonia?
Oh, wait. My. So, like, he's like a Czech dude.
I need an answer. It's
Cusack?
Jim. Jim Burden, the narrator. Pop culture, both teams. He narrated the 2011 film Winnie the Pooh and is the voice of the King in Shrek the Third and Shrek Forever After. Which British comedian plays nearly headless Nick in Harry Potter? That would be John Cleese. Literature, toss up. My Mother is a Fish is a very short chapter in this book about Norman North. Caleb.
As I Lay Dying.
As I Lay Dying is the name of the Faulkner work we needed. Having trouble with the buzzer? I noticed you double clutch there. Okay.
I was just hesitating.
All right, very good. All right, literature bonus. Within 5 years, when was The Sun Also Rises first published?
1942, maybe? 1942.
Let's see, I need 1926, so 21 to 31 would have been acceptable. There's our bell. Ending round number 1, a good close match as you would expect in a Final Four matchup. Norman North has the first round lead, $150. Edmond Memorial, $100. That could change quickly in round number 2. Another flash round headed your way next on Mind Games High School Edition. And welcome back to Mind Games High School Edition. This semifinal matchup. Norman North has the lead, $150. Edmond Memorial, $100. We have a couple of new players, both from Norman North. Dylan Dawson, a junior, is farthest from me. Is closest to me. And Will Long, senior, is farthest from me. Caleb's still the captain. Norman North in the lead, so you're going to go first. So Caleb, again, I'll need you to give me the answers. We have 1 minute, 15 questions, whichever comes first. 60 seconds on the clock. And go. Defying Gravity is a song from the musical Rent.
True.
Incorrect. The Lusitania sank from a mine or a boiler explosion.
False.
Correct. The poems in the Song of the Earth were originally Chinese.
True.
Correct. American Ferrera played Pretty Polly.
True.
Incorrect. An acute angle is bigger than an obtuse angle.
False.
Correct. The Ford Foundation was founded by Betty Ford's estate.
False.
Correct. Grand debate takes place in the United Nations.
Yeah. True.
Correct. Snapchat pics can still be retrieved after expiration.
False.
Incorrect. Iraqi suicide bombers accidentally blew themselves up during training in February.
True.
Correct. Pigs are the prized livestock among steppe nomads.
False.
Correct. Adam Johnson wrote 2013's Pulitzer-winning novel.
True.
Correct. Rilla of Ingleside is part of the Anne of Green Gables series.
True.
Correct. Most asteroids are
True.
roughly spherical. That's incorrect. The Missouri River is a tributary of the Mississippi.
True.
Correct. Lewis Hine photographed child laborers.
True.
Correct. You did get to all 15 of them. Jumped the gun there on one of them, but you did get to all 15. All right. Defying Gravity is a song from Wicked, not Rent. The Lusitania was torpedoed. American Ferrera played Ugly Betty, not Pretty Polly. Obtuse greater than 90 degrees, so it's bigger than the acute. Henry and Etzel Ford. Henry Ford did the Ford Foundation, not Betty Ford. And let's see. Horses are the prized livestock of the steppe nomads, not pigs. Most asteroids are irregularly shaped, not spherical. So again, a good round though. $260 for Norman North. Edmond Memorial with a perfect round. You can pull within 10 bucks. So here we go. Rid, again, I'll need you to give me the responses. 60 seconds on the clock and go. Hercules performed his labors for King Creon.
False.
False.
Correct. A Time to Kill and The House of No are James Bond movies.
False.
False.
Correct. Kanye West proposed to Kim Kardashian in Chicago's Wrigley Field.
False.
Correct. Renoir never painted a nude.
False.
False.
Correct. Website Epicurious says it's for people who love to eat.
False.
False.
Incorrect. The Axis Gustav line protected the countryside around Berlin.
False.
Correct. Montgomery, Alabama is named after a Revolutionary War general.
False.
Incorrect. The Mayan civilization flourished until the 16th century.
True.
That is incorrect. The Fox Sister is a Korean folk tale.
True.
Correct. Pedro Cabral explored Brazil.
True.
Correct. Pius V was Pope after Clement V.
True.
True.
Correct. Pink eye is caused by vitamin K deficiency.
False.
Correct. The Petrushka chord is a consonant combination of triads.
False.
False.
Correct. Lorna Doone is set in Scotland.
True.
Incorrect. Work equals force times distance.
True.
Correct. You got to all 15 of them and you did quite well. Let's see. False. Here Hercules performed for Eurystheus, not Creon. A View to a Kill and Dr. No, not the House of No or James Bond movies. Kind of threw one in there. Kanye actually did propose in a ballpark, but it was AT&T ballpark in San Francisco, not Wrigley Field. Renoir painted quite a bit of nudes, none. Gustav line around Rome, not Berlin. Mayan civilization about the 10th century. Then they were conquered by the Aztecs around 1300. And let's see, pink eye caused by an infection, not vitamin K deficiency. The Petrushka chord is a dissonant combination of triads. And Lorna Doone, I would have thought Scotland too, but it's actually set in England. So there we go. Great round. $260 Norman North. $210 Edmond Memorial. That can change very quickly in round number 3. As we double the dollar values, this could come down to the final question again here on Mind Games, this semifinal matchup. Stay with us. And welcome back to this Final Four matchup. The winner takes on Edmond Santa Fe in our championship of this year's tournament. Norman North right now, $260. Edmond Memorial, $210. We have 5 minutes left, 11 questions, whichever comes first. Hands on the buzzers. Here we go. We begin with geography, and it is an image. So take a look at the big screen here in the studio. What dormant volcano near the city of Kislovodsk is the highest point in the Caucasus and the highest point in Europe? It's a memorial. Peter.
Mount Elbrus.
Elbrus is the correct response. Your geography bonus. What former Soviet state contains the war-torn region of South Ossetia?
Chechnya.
It's actually Georgia, is that republic. Literature, toss-up question. The Wanderers and June Recital are two of the stories in her collection, The Golden Apples, set in Morgana, Mississippi. Who is this Southern author who also wrote The Optimist's Daughter? Norman North, Caleb.
Welty.
Eudora Welty is correct. Here's your literature bonus. What playwright published A Death in the Family in 1959?
Agee.
Agee is correct. Science, toss-up. Its inner membrane contains folds known as cristae. Norman North, Caleb.
Mitochondria.
You jumped on it early, and that's it. In almost every species, the DNA in this organelle inherited only from the mother. Your science bonus. Recycling this metal uses only 5% of the energy of processing from ore. The Hall-Héroult process uses electricity and cryolite to recover what metal from bauxite ore?
Yeah, aluminum.
Aluminum is correct. Here's the history toss-up, both teams. This program became the first television show to include closed captioning for deaf viewers in 1972. Named this PBS cooking program, hosted by European-trained cook Julia Child. The French Chef was the name of that show. Fine arts, we have an image. So both teams take a look for this toss-up image. Used here by Vincent van Gogh. This technique famously appears in Memorial. Finn.
Contrapposto.
That is incorrect. I can finish the question for Norman North. It famously appears in Pollaiolo's Battle of the Nudes. What French term names the technique in which an artist depicts a muscular body without its skin? Écorché is what we needed. Current events, toss-up. The Blue Devil was the first one retrieved, followed by the 40th anniversary one and the 1,000,000th one. What are these cars that fell into a sinkhole at their museum in February? Memorial, Rita.
Corvettes.
They were all Corvettes, beautiful cars. It was painful to watch. All right, we have an image. Take a look at the monitor here in the studio. There's that big sinkhole. In what state is the Corvette Museum, where a sinkhole swallowed 8 cars in 2014?
Michigan.
You're in the right ballpark. It was Kentucky, a little south of there, Kentucky. All right, humanities, toss up. What sociologist who described the collective consciousness of cultures said society, fashioning us in its image, fills us with religious, political, and moral beliefs that control our actions? Norman North, Caleb.
Weber.
That is incorrect. Memorial, I have finished the question. Peter.
Freud.
It was actually Durkheim, Emil Durkheim. Geography question, and again, we have an image, so take a look at the screen. Geography. On which of the Hawaiian Islands can you visit the Captain Cook Monument, assuming you're willing to do some hiking or paddling through the Kona District's Kealakekua Bay? Memorial, Peter.
Oahu.
That is incorrect. Norman North, I have finished the question. And successfully said Kealakekua. Yes, it's the Big Island, Hawaii. All right, science, toss up. She developed the first compiler for a programming language. Her original bug was a moth trapped in the Harvard Mark II. Who is the computing pioneer for whom U.S. Navy ship DDG-70 is named? Rear Admiral Grace Hopper. Literature, toss up. In what Barbara Kingsolver book do Nathan and Orleana Price live in the mission field of the Belgian Congo? Poisonwood Bible. Pop culture. Oil from this plant's seeds is a paint pigment binder and is a good dietary source of omega-3 fatty acids, which improve blood fat scores. What plant's stem fibers are used to make linen fabric? Norman North, Caleb.
Sunflowers.
That's incorrect. Finn.
Cotton.
It's actually flax. Flax. And that is the final question of the round. Norman North, you have advanced to the championship match where you'll take on Edmond Santa Fe for the championship of this year's tournament. Congratulations. $340, $260. We have a little bit left to do. Stay with us here on Mind Games High School Edition. And welcome back to Mind Games. Our championship match is set. It'll be Edmond Santa Fe against Norman North. Norman North wins this matchup, the semifinal, $340 to $260 for Edmond Memorial. We added in the Ward Petroleum money. Norman North up to $500 for this round, $1,680 so far for Norman North in the tournament. Edmond Memorial, look at this, you leave us with $1,745 for your total time here on Mind Games. Congratulations. What is this, Rita?
It's our mascot.
Oh,
I don't know.
it's a bookworm, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what they were rubbing theirs for. Good luck. So congratulations. Fantastic tournament at Memorial. Hope to see you again next year. All right. At Norman North, you're headed to the championship match. Your thoughts, Caleb?
It's great.
Man of many words. But congratulations. Well played, and we'll look forward to next week and the championship matchup. Thank you for watching Mind Games. We invite you to stay tuned here on KSBI. Jennifer Reynolds and the College Mind Games. Stay with us. So long.
Mind Games is a production of KSBI Television in Oklahoma City, made possible by the Chickasaw Nation.